Hey folks, Matthew with Riverponics. I'm going to give you a little rundown of the Bokashi and Bokashi composting, what I'm doing, kind of tweak my little setup here. Pick some kale from the garden, it's going to go in there. And this right here is purslane. This usually grows in people's driveways and stuff, very prominent in the US and Canada and other regions. Edible. This is an edible plant. It's highly nutritious, packed full of nutrients, but this is what I do. I'll go out and foliage stuff like this. They're again like nettles, is a very high in nitrogen. Those things like that you can do. This is a Bokashi activator. This is what you would put inside. You would layer it, kind of like a cake. You would layer it, and you put your plant matter about 2 inches in depth, and then you would layer just a nice thin layer of your Bokashi activator over top, which will help break down the process quicker. I made this fancy little compactor here. So when you do Bokashi composting, they recommend that you keep as less amount of air out as possible, and so they can do this. It's a great way to be able to pack it down, keep the air out. You see, I had little holes here and there, and I caulked all the holes, so I'm trying to eliminate as much air as possible to get in there. And this should be like a sweet aroma smell. So there's things I needed to change, so I kind of started over somewhat. But you just keep on filling up this container, and then eventually, when it gets filled up to the top, you would take it out to you're gonna have an outdoor garden or compost area. Mine's out there. You can see that mound. But I would dump it in there, dig a hole, dump it in there, and just let it biodegrade the rest of the way down, turn into soil, and reuse it. But this is the dual, for those who haven't seen what a Bokashi composter is. It's just a dual bucket. So the bucket within a bucket, and there's a gap down below here, about 2-inch gap, where the juice trickles down to the second container, because the first container here has a bunch of holes in it in the bottom. It's very hard to see. Try to get a good picture. You see the juice coming out now, right there, dripping. And so now there's juice in there. That's how you would do that. This is definitely a plus right here. So I just took another lid and I just cut it, formed it to fit down inside there. Real simple. Now I'll take the activator here. It's just grainy stuff. And let me put the purslane. They also call this little hogweed. So you can do some research on this, but you should be able to find this in your driveway, in your backyard. And this stuff you can throw in there, man. And this comes right out of my garden. Like I said, I pick stuff out of my garden. I'll throw it right in here. But I'm just going to throw the dirt and all, man. We're just going to do it up right there. And you can take scissors and chop that up finer, but I'm just going to throw it in there. Get her compact down. And then I'm going to layer it with the activator. You gotta bear with me because it's hard to watch what I'm doing and try to videotape at the same time. It's kind of difficult. So but there we go. Nice thin layer. I'll let that start fermenting. Voila, we're done. Put the lid back on it. This is just a spigot for dispensing your liquid. Real simple setup, man. Very simple, very cost effective. The activator is not necessary, but it does speed up the process. So just an alternative, but kind of give you a little update on the garden. A lot of fruit starting to come in now. Kind of give you a comparison of what, like, this is a kale plant, right? So this is just one leaf. Show you if I can. I mean, it's, how can I? The sucker's as long as my hand to my elbow. This one leaf, you know. Kind of give you an idea how big some of these plants are. This tomato plant right here growing in the 4 gallon container. I mean, look at this thing. And it is not done growing. It's almost ready to hit the top of the trellis up there, right along with the cucumbers. So, show you the watermelon out back here. These have gotten bigger as well. Let's see how it ends up turning out, man. There's 3, and here's another one right here. So there's 4. We got one up there trying to come around. You can see some has some leaf die off, so interesting. It's like almost like I get starting to get powdery mildew actually on there, which sucks. But I mean, look at these little Romas, man. Really starting to come in. Just can't get over this plant right here. The tomato plant is just crazy. And that is a cherry tomato too. So it'll be interesting to see what that thing ends up doing. There's fruit. I mean, you can see the tomatoes coming in. There's this one right here too. I'm gonna have to cage it up better because it's starting to grow out of its cage, and that will go all the way up to the roof. This one branch here. So I'm gonna have to work on getting him up. But lots of fruit coming in now. Tomato plants are going to be impressive this year. All right. Hope that was educational. Peace out.